This village had a terrifying legend. When an elderly person passed away, a blue flower would grow at their gravesite. If anyone accidentally touched it, they would be pulled into the world of the dead. Xiao Mei woke up confused, finding herself lying on the ground in utter darkness. Terrified, she scrambled backward and bumped into a skeleton. Instantly, the skeleton sprang to life, frightening her terribly. But unexpectedly, the skeleton transformed into a musical band and began to play. Another skeleton appeared nearby, lighting a lantern in its hand, and the dark world was suddenly illuminated. Just then, a skeleton wearing a skirt picked up the flower from the ground. It approached Xiao Mei and, before she could react, pulled her over to a dining table. The skeleton took out a knife and swiftly carved a honeydew melon for her. Xiao Mei, terrified, tried to run away, but the skeleton immediately handed her a plate and filled it with food. After eating and drinking her fill, the skeleton took Xiao Mei to a playground. It picked her up and threw her into the air, letting her experience a balloon trampoline. Seeing Xiao Mei still wasn't happy, the skeleton covered its own eyes, tore off its own arm, and began performing a game of whack-a-mole for her. Xiao Mei finally let her guard down. She picked up a nearby skeleton's foot and happily played along with the female skeleton. Afterward, the skeleton took Xiao Mei to a dressing room, applying adorable makeup to her face. Then they went to a changing room, where she dressed Xiao Mei in a magnificent gown. Finally, the skeleton brought Xiao Mei to a spirit ball. Xiao Mei took the initiative and pulled the skeleton into a dance. At that very moment, the skeleton transformed into a human figure. It was Xiao Mei's mother. Xiao Mei immediately ran and hugged her. Her mother took the flower from her own ear and placed it on Xiao Mei's head. Just as Xiao Mei was immersed in her mother's embrace, she suddenly snapped back to reality. It had all been a dream. Yet, the clothes her mother had given her and the blue flower were still there. At that moment, Xiao Mei understood. Her mother was still watching over her.